Good evening, and welcome to another edition of JoyScore Live, Episode 4. I'm your host, sitting in this chair, actually, Zach Anderson Yoxheimer, and we've got a lively bunch today inside the studio, and not with us today are Jay, nor is Chris with us today. We have...
Jeez.
Oh, well, in the corner over there... Wow, we got Caitlin Thorley. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's not that hard to pronounce.
Thor. Lee.
Like a thorn? Thor?
In your side, you know.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
me.
Whoa.
Wow. And the one with the sass in the corner in the blue chair with her hair as well. We have Alexis Geyser. Did I get that right? Am I not?
You got
She
that
has blue
right.
hair in case anyone's confused.
Yeah.
If you don't see hair because it's kind of blended in with the chair, you just be fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dye your hair green and we'll get a green screen and you can have
I'll just
whatever
let
color
it
hair
fade
you
to
want.
green.
Ooh, perfect.
But speaking about perfect, we're back for the 4th episode, so all good. I mean, well, Jay and Chris, we'll see what happens with them. Maybe you guys can be perfect, and it'll just be the 3 of us. But we'll see.
That's cool.
I think you guys like that. I like that. We've had a lot more fun getting into this beginning of the show, but all fun aside, they'll be back next week for some.
You liked my DJ skills? A little bit of a
it's more of
hips
your-
don't lie.
It's more just
If anybody needs some backstory,
Shakira.
we were playing a bunch of music.
I mean, normally that's
Yeah.
what the DJ means.
Yeah, well,
I gotta get my nerves
you
out.
gotta give a little backstory. People might not know what you're talking about.
But speaking about backstory, it's JoyScore Live. This is our 4th episode. Today we're introing what is the 3rd chapter of Dr. Bob Singal's book. His first book in 2011, Joy in Health and Happiness. All the new apps, all the new websites coming in summer 2018, around July. But this episode is based on this 3rd chapter of this new book coming out, and it's about relationships. A whole big topic in and of itself. This was something JoyScore that Dr. B helped with hundreds of his students, and he's trying to help everybody else now today. And what do you guys like about the previous chapters compared to this one right now before we get into our big discussion that we're about to start in just a moment?
I like talking about relationships because relationships is on so many different levels. You have a relationship with yourself. You have a relationship with your family members. You have a relationship with total random strangers. You know, there's so many different levels to relationships that you could seriously talk about it for... We're only talking about it for an hour, thank goodness, but you know what I mean?
We're going for hours and hours.
Yeah.
What about you, Alexis?
I'd say around the same kind of thing. Relationships are really important in my life, and I believe that we're all social beings, and relationships are just really important for our health and our happiness. You know, whatever varying relationships those are, whether they're with family, with a significant other, with friends.
With your cat.
Yeah.
In the workplace?
With my dog. We'll get into that.
Oh. Is that something I should be afraid of?
Oh,
or-
no.
Okay. But we'll get into that diving in later
Yeah.
on in the show. We have these lovely ladies joining us as the co-host today. I'm not the special one. I just happen to sit in the cool chair with the blue screen behind me. But they got the beautiful sights behind them as well as them on the camera as well.
Thanks.
Later on in
Thanks.
the show, well, it's just the truth. As we have Bobby June making his first appearance. We've teased this
Hey,
before.
Bobby
June was supposed to
June.
come on prior. That didn't happen. But I see him looking at me through our little doorway and pathway here. He's
I didn't
actually
see him.
coming on today. It's guaranteed.
Bobby June.
And
Where is he?
He's hiding. You don't see him at the moment. But he will be coming on in the second
scares
segment of the
me.
show to give a kind of a male perspective on relationships before we circle back and kind of get a female perspective in addition to a male versus female. Not like a battle, but just kind of battling, push back and forth of ideas.
Which I appreciate that. It's important to have all sort of perspectives and views on an issue. You know, there's not one side to a story. There's 20 billion gazillion sides to different stories and perspectives. And that includes relationships. Male versions, female versions, whatever versions.
So basically, the JoyScore definition of relationships on Chapter 3, I'm going to go through this real quick. Your relationships are based on the ways in which you interact with other people, whether it's your family, workplace, community, as you mentioned, Alexis, your significant other, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, fiance, husband, wife, whatever it may be, of any type of relationship. That's kind of what we're getting at. That's the official definition of JoyScore. What we're going to go on right now in our discussion is, what do we think is today's view on that? What's the societal view as we talk about the dating apps, social media's influence on relationships?
The dating apps. Oh.
And we're gonna.
I felt like some social anxiety just thinking about that.
Oh, you were having fun earlier dancing. Now we need to bring out all that energy right now. We're talking about social media's influence, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all sorts of things, compared to the Tinders, the Bumbles, all the crazy apps that are out there. What is your perspective on what they influence on millennials, people our age, even adults using all these things? What do you think is happening today using such apps?
Well, in what I have definitely seen, whether it's through blogs, discussion posts, Twitter, a lot of people actually have pretty negative views on dating apps. People view dating apps as just like a simple, like, you're swiping through, you're not getting to know people, you're purely based off of physical looks. And people might, be going into these dating apps of maybe only one or two intense purposes, you know what I mean? So people actually have kind of a negative view. I know that a lot of my friends, like, we have these discussions and they're like, I don't know, where am I going to meet people? I take online classes. I don't want to talk to anyone at the gym. And I was like, they always ask me, like, should I download Tinder? And I keep telling them, like, Tinder is just one of the many gazillion ways that people our age, like, form relationships. And I personally wouldn't recommend Tinder to any of my friends. What do you think?
I very much agree on that. I feel like Tinder and all these dating websites have almost made it seem like people are a product and not really a person behind that photo.
Yep.
And it's kind of like with the swiping thing, you're swiping, no, I don't want that. Yeah, I want that. No, I don't want that.
That's kind of creepy. Like, think about it.
It's really weird because you're just looking at these photos of people and you're like, it's whatever. You're picking and choosing. And I think it's just a really odd way to meet people. And the thing that kind of sucks about it is that when you go into actual, you go into a class or you go to the gym, nobody talks to each other anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody interacts. Everybody's awkward, but then you go on the internet and everybody's lively and willing to talk to you. But the minute, like, they meet in person, then it becomes quite awkward.
I know.
Yeah, even... like, I'll try to interact with my classmates at my school, and they don't even want to talk, which I think social media and dating websites like Tinder and Bumble have created these atmospheres.
These inappropriate atmospheres.
Yeah, and it's kind of uncomfortable, you know?
It's extreme. I'd rather go to, like, a class or a club and meet somebody.
Exactly.
Or even, study buddies, like libraries. Like, for me personally, these are the places where I would want to find relationships, whether it's friendships, significant others. Like, I want to meet people in person, doing similar interests as mine. I don't understand how people solely rely, quote unquote, on Tinder or Bumble. Like, yes, so what? There's a friend option on Bumble. You knew that, right? How you can find friends.
Yes, there's all sorts of different articles you can read, all the new trends, and
I don't understand it, because
even workplaces are going on that, putting in ads to get new jobs. Like, it's interesting how much it's affecting our lives. Even as you guys mentioned, it changes our view on social media. Like, we kind of treat the Instagram, the Twitter, someone posts a picture, we treat it the same. Would you guys agree? I feel like when someone posts a picture, we just don't need to swipe, but we heart it, we retweet it, we favorite it, we share it. But it feels like it's all becoming the same thing. Just Tinder and Bumble go an extra step further. Instead of sliding in the DMs, it's a little bit different with matches.
That's another thing I want to bring up. Like, you only see the occasional, like, crazy story, like, I slid into this girl's DMs and she was living in Illinois, now we're married and we have a kid on the way. Like, you never see that. Like, those stories.
You've seen that?
I saw. It's always on Twitter.
It's always on Twitter. They have 500,000
Yeah.
likes because no one believes it. Like, no one sliding into the people's DMs. Men, please do not slide into my DMs.
Please
like,
don't.
I will block you.
Same.
Unless it's like a funny story joke. I don't know. It's people nowadays have different perceptions on perspectives on
perceptions.
I don't know, on
words. What are they?
On forming relationships. Like I said, even like finding, like, okay, so I'm from Seattle, right? And I do online school. So outside of work in the gym, where am I going to meet, friends? It's kind of like a weird concept that people nowadays, like people our age nowadays, struggle with finding friends because people aren't
talk to each
friendly in the real world. Like, okay, I can download Bumble and find friends off of no, I don't want to do that. I want to meet real people in real situations doing real things like me. Alexis, do you want to go get like a hobby? Go surf or something?
I'm down. I used to surf.
Oh, cool. I
want to try
People
again.
in Seattle don't really surf. It's kind of cold up there.
Yeah, I'd
They just
assume.
kind of sit inside and watch the rain.
We can kayak. I know how to kayak.
Oh, that's actually, I do know how to kayak.
Kayak's
That's fine. Yeah.
fun.
But
Lots of fun.
am I invited to the kayaking or no?
JoyScore kayaking trip.
Okay.
Ooh,
Live show while
yeah, we can pod.
time. We're just like, let's
We'll have
go.
a little microphone.
Left, right. And we just keep
Hey,
going.
viewers, we are canoeing or kayaking towards. Anyway,
No, but going off of that, what I've noticed from Twitter, there's a lot of jokes, but I know that they're serious, where people are like, oh, I'm flirting with this person on the internet for fun, but then when it comes to meeting them in person, they don't want to meet them.
ghosting.
Yeah, ghosting. That's a thing.
Oh, that's
Even
a
when they
scary
meet in
term.
person, they'll like go out once and then they never see each other again. And that's just for me, and I think I can speak for a lot of other people. They don't want to meet people like that. Even friendships, like I don't want to meet somebody and then never talk to them again, because A, it's a waste of time, and B, why am I going to put my energy into something that's not going to benefit the both of us?
You know, I saw a meme the other day where it was like, ghosting is the horror, the nightmare of people, of like younger people nowadays, like
And we shouldn't
middle
be afraid
schoolers
of
and
that.
high schoolers. Ooh.
We shouldn't be afraid of talking to somebody and them not talking to us again. Just like
Yeah,
falling
putting
off the
yourself
place
up
of the...
there, liking someone, you
Yeah.
know, having intimate conversations with them, and then all of a sudden, bloop, they're gone.
And it's also created this environment where we can't say, oh, like, I just don't want to date you, or I don't want to be friends with you. It's just
straight cut off.
Yeah,
There's
just
no
straight
joy.
cut off. Then, yeah.
I think even for the people who don't even use such apps, it almost like it translates throughout the rest of like our age, the kids our age, people our age, as it just like people are just kind of deal with like, oh, the ghosting. It happens beyond these apps. It happens. It just
Yeah.
kind of happens around, and it feels like it just.
It can
translates-
happen in person too.
Oh, those
which
are the
is,
worst.
Yeah.
But
Yikes.
I mean, it just kind of, it feels like it's kind of had an effect regardless of if you use these apps or not. It just has an effect. If you use them, then it affects them going forward. What do you think of actually meeting someone in person, or the rest of people who don't even use them, but say they go out with someone who's used these types of apps? Or
People become mentally scarred. Like, this is actually very damaging to some people. This is what causes social anxiety. This is what causes a number of things. Is the being scared that you're going to be let down. It's scary. I can totally relate. This is why I believe finding joy within real relationships is so important. Learning the difference between real relationships and relationships where people will leech off of you or ghost you. You know, it's kind of like the story that I told last week, you know.
The puzzle.
We surround ourselves with so many people. Like, we want to have people in our lives that are pointing to us where our puzzle pieces are, not trying to fix it for us. Or we want to find people, we want to be in relationships with people who don't steal our puzzle pieces or bury them.
We want to be with people we trust, which is actually a part of the chapter, is that in relationships you have to have trust.
Mm-hmm.
And what goes along with that is that, like you said, we are two people, not one person together, and we're separate people, and to
separate
do
puzzle
that,
pieces and separate
exactly, and
lives,
to do
but-
that we have to be able to trust each other, and that's, I think, a vital part of relationships. And I think that is something that's been taken out of relationships in today's age. It's really hard to trust each other just from how much we've been hurt by other people, I think.
Reading from the chapter, trust is like the foundation of relationships, both whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, or friendships at the workplace, just doing
Family.
things together. Successful relationships are based on trust. And and last week, in what we discussed in the self-esteem episode, it's kind of a fine line to deal with, whether it's being trustworthy in yourself, being confident in what you do, and then having a relationship as well, not trying to just lean, but it's, as you mentioned, Alexis, it's two people, but it's trusting one another, having high self-esteem, but then coming together in a relationship, whether it's as boyfriend, girlfriend, as an actual relationship, or just simply being friends, communicating. Another key cog to having good relationships or being successful and having a workplace relationship in the community. So it's kind of a fine line between being very confident in yourself, and then communicating and being trustworthy of other people.
You know what's kind of funny is that when you mentioned there has to be trust even in workplace relationships. You know, that might sound kind of weird, but just for example, like with all the last couple of years, there's been all this sexual assault in the workplace, all this in the news, the media. Sometimes we're afraid to trust other people in the workplace because of these things that we hear in the media. You know, it's important, like, if I'm going to be working with you every day, I want to trust you as a friend. Like, okay, like, I know you're not going to stab me in the back. I know you're not going to screw me over. I know that you're not going to blah, 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 not going to blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of interesting how trust really is part of every single type of relationship in every form. You trusting your significant other, you trusting your neighbors' relationships, you trusting even relationships of your animals. You know, your animals need to trust you, and you need to trust your animals. So thank you for pointing that out, how important that is.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that we trust ourselves before getting into certain type of relationships, or even if you are in a relationship, you have to trust and love yourself to be able to give that to somebody else.
I for sure agree. That's the first part of the chapter.
Yeah.
Learning to love yourself, a relationship with yourself. I never really learned about that growing up. You know, middle school, high school, like, no one really ever talked to me about loving myself. I think that's the reason why people like middle school and high school are already super rough. I mean, not really the school, like, looking back, that school was a lot easier than I thought it was, but you know, just like forming the relationships of people around you that are going through whatever things at home and hormones and whatever. I wish that I loved myself more, because I would have had better self-esteem, like what we talked about last week. I would have had it just would have been so much better if I actually loved myself first and had a good relationship with myself before I tried to have a relationship with peers around me.
It's almost like sometimes you jump in when you're younger, trying to have a relationship or friendship just to help them build yourself up, when in reality it's almost, you have to find what builds you up, like, by yourself, self-esteem, and the first step, love yourself unconditionally with yourself and just treat yourself with respect. You have to respect one's own self before you can help and go in a relationship with someone else. So it's almost as if self-esteem is step one, almost to all these JoyScore steps.
Well, step one's thoughts. It's the thought process behind that. That builds to your self-esteem. That builds into... It's kind of interesting how these chapters...
They just build on each other.
Yeah, these chapters in Dr. Bob's book, they all build upon each other and they all flow with each other. It's all part of this web of where there is joy within all of us and in all things. You just have to know where to look for it.
Just a reminder that until the new book is coming out, you can read the 2011 version, Joy in Health and Happiness. But you know what time it is? It's time for the debut of Bobby June.
Oh, yeah. June. Where's Bobby June at?
So Bobby June's hiding around the corner.
Is that a JoyScore mug?
Bobby June. Oh.
A makeshift JoyScore mug?
Look at him. He's looking all slick.
I don't know what he just said to me.
Well, I think what he said is, I think the time with you guys is up at the moment. But you're coming back.
We'll be back.
The ladies will be back, ladies and gentlemen. They'll be back. They're all good. They'll be back in the third segment. We'll discuss social media, and they're going to give their comments on what Bobby and I talk about right now, in addition to their own thoughts and additional thoughts on relationships. So right now, come on in, Bobby June. Enter in the man of the second segment, or the man of the hour.
Man club time.
So coming on in, we're going to say a quick goodbye to Alexis and Caitlin. And just a reminder that 2011 book, Joy in Health and Happiness, the apps and all of the websites looking to be ready around July 2018. Just remember, there's 10 chapters in this book at the moment. The 10 different chapters, starting with thoughts. We did that in our second episode. After our debut episode last week, discussed self-esteem. And then right now, relationships. And I can't wait for the next upcoming episodes. But still, we're about a third of the way in of our fourth episode. And I don't know how it's taken this long to get you on the show, as you're just about to get set up there, Bobby June. I'll wait for you to get all good and going. And I like your mug. JoyScore mug.
I thought you meant my face, dude. That's cold-blooded. Don't correct that. That sounded beautiful.
What, your face? I mean,
I like your mug, bro.
Okay.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I think you stole it from me.
Well, I mean, your mug's good, and
thank you very much.
And then
yours is better. That's why I need a compliment. It's a nice mug.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'll get you a mug, though, dude. How do you like that? My printer is out of ink, so it's not the correct color. But
I mean, it goes because I have the shirt and you have the mug, so we kind of.
I need something, and I thought this was like a little bit the next level, because we might have some things like that. I think we're going to we're going to have some additional swag, whatever it is.
Yeah, swag. I can't wait to get my lovely mug. But ladies and gentlemen, Bobby June,
Hey, what's up?
now in the corner. He has his own show. He's also been with JoyScore pretty much since the beginning, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he is one of the OGs here at JoyScore. We teased him coming on last week. We kind of didn't follow through on that because we had a great discussion and he didn't come on. But this week, we were like, for sure, he has to come on. Jay and Chris off this week. Bobby June, he's in, and especially with the lady co-host this week. This has been a great first, say, 20 minutes. Drum rolls, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby June. I'm just going to
Thank you very much.
clap it up.
Likewise. And you look good over there, and you sound good. I like it. I was dying to see you as the host for a second, and I like it. It's good.
I mean,
nice.
we have that lovely blue behind me. It's just glowing.
I know. It's kind of simple. Like, you know what? No distraction, dude. No distractions. You don't need it. You don't need the fluff behind you.
I mean, the funny thing is, I'm wearing this jacket because I'm actually wearing a tighter shirt than usual. I forgot my shirt at home. This jacket.
I'm not in that. So I got to get in shape, dude. You look good.
No,
Hold on. I'm going to fix this camera right here. I got to get technical.
All right. So as Bobby gets ready to fix over his corner, we're going to talk about kind of the male perspective on relationships.
All right.
More than just the boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, and the wife. All that stuff. We're going to discuss a little bit of the workplace, friends. So to start off, what to you is the most important thing about relationships, especially from a male's perspective and for your perspective, just in a general sense overall?
I think taking a test is the most important thing. And you're going to take a test with me.
Oh, let's go. So
We're going to figure out how.
All right. All right. So we're going to take this test on the air for relationships. So if you didn't know, we've kind of mentioned this before, but before each chapter, there's a pre-quiz and then there's a post-quiz. This chapter has about 10 different statements. I'll just show you right here, wherever the camera's looking. It's in each book, and I've taken a couple of them before. So this is the relationship one. 10 different ones, starting with, you have strong connections with your family, ending with, you work hard to overcome biases to make a relationship work. So there's 10 different ones. You can score up 1 to 9, and there's 5 different boxes from strongly disagree all the way to strongly agree.
But I flubbed. Let me. I didn't mean to interrupt. That was a wrong interruption because you asked me a question, so I hobbled on that.
Yes.
So go ahead with your question. I wanted to get these out of my hand.
Oh,
I should have
good.
handed it to you on the way in.
Oh, it's all good.
So now you have it. We'll take that. But
We will
sorry,
take it. That
where
will
was
come.
where was your question? Pardon me.
So just a reminder, this is the pre-quiz. We've talked about this. This is what it looks like. So if you haven't noticed, this is what it looks like.
And it'll be cool for us to take it.
We will. We're going to take it on air.
Yeah.
And basically my question was, now that we're all set,
sorry,
we're
go ahead.
well, you're Bobby June.
Dude, I'm nervous, bro. Come on, it's JoyScore. Got to be perfect.
Just a reminder, it's
Talk
our
about-
commercial-free hour, this show. So, other times this is the commercial-free hour. Our relationship from us here at JoyScore to you, the viewer. Hope you're enjoying this
Yeah.
one. But what I was asking you was, what do you think is the most important thing from your perspective and as a male's perspective in a relationship? Not just, say, an actual relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Just as overall.
Let's see. Do you include animals and things that aren't human?
I mean, Caitlin was mentioning her pet and stuff like that. So just
Do you include yourself?
as far as personal?
Yeah. Do you include? Okay, then I would say like reciprocation would be a good one, or I don't know. Let's see. Communication.
Yes.
Okay, but reciprocation is kind of the sub communication, or the undercurrent of communication. It's probably one of the subcategories. Maybe it's not quite communication, but it has it supports the tennis match that's going on. So you have or collaboration, or there's a lot of C words and shun words that are just right in there, ready to make their case on what's important. So it would be hard to choose the most important thing in a relationship. I guess you have to go subjective from your own perspective and base it on the percentage of happiness that you're having with the thing, the entity you're dealing with. You've got to look at it like, how good is it? There can't be anything better. You have to make the right decisions on what good means, but you have to have a result, I guess. The reason would be the result. Because if you're in a relationship and you're doing all of these functions within the relationship, but the end result is very low reciprocation, communication high, but very low reciprocation, and maybe too much, there's too much give, not enough take. Or, something's off. So that is the end result of a relationship. Maybe the dog bites you all the time, but man, it walks so good. Man, it looks so good. Or you could say, the chick is yelling at you, but god dang, we're great here and there and the other thing. At the end, you added up the math, and then you have this result. That is the most important. It's kind of a no-brainer, but it seems like that's the only way to judge it.
And based on what you're talking about, reciprocation, there's a little mini quote based on when Dr. B, he's listing all the different relationships, whether it's your friends, yourself, family, community, workplace.
Right.
As Caitlin mentioned, with your pets. And one of the things is, obviously, you have to have self-esteem. You have to have your own confidence. But another big thing in relationships, but beyond just yourself, you mentioned reciprocation. You can't do it alone. That's something I have written down here in my notes. You can't do it alone, and you have to enjoy and value your relationships.
Well, you can, okay, but there's one caveat to that. You can have a relationship with yourself.
Yes.
So if I'm on an island, can you on an island have a relationship on your own? Or is it only on your own because people are around you that you're having a relationship with yourself? Or is a relationship with yourself just a given? Like, does that count in the judging of a relationship? There's a weird way of looking at one's own relationship with one's own self, and does that self even exist? So that's one entity. But other than that, yeah, okay, all the other ones count for that.
There's a nice little statement here in the pre-quiz. It mentions you have a good relationship with yourself.
I know. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
It's a big one, and I think that that might need that thing, because that's a big one in psychology in general, or in common talk in general, is how you deal with yourself, and it's become so it's become such a trite statement to a certain degree that people don't hear it anymore. So I think we need to look at that deeper in a page or something, because that you want to know what that means. What do you think it means when you have a relationship with yourself? What is that? And I know you're going to say self-esteem.
I think I can dive in a little deeper.
Okay, go. What is a relationship with yourself? What does that mean?
I think,
and I'll go with male female in a New York minute. So don't worry, we can go right back to that. So.
For me, I believe it's just being okay with who I am, being confident in who I am, and believing in not like what I am, but believing what I believe, and just being confident in who I am. So that kind of describes self-esteem, but just I figure there's more deeper meaning to it.
So it's like having a complete life, having all the things in a row, having things functioning well, being as happy as possible, all of those things. Yeah, I guess I just don't know if that's a relationship or not. I guess it is, because you're negotiating with yourself at times. It seems.
Sometimes you overthink on things, and things just keep playing in your
right.
head.
So that starts to fall into the relationship category. But then you got to start thinking about, well, am I really having a relationship? Am I really having a relationship? And am I really negotiating with myself, or am I just reacting to things that my brain's doing and discovering my life along the way? It gets really tricky quick, fast. So I'm not sold on that yet. But it is something that we all do, and we all know is real. It just I would like to define that more. So back to a male female.
Yeah.
We didn't. You weren't going there. You were going with the anything still.
That New York minute's over. It's gone. It's past.
Okay. Cool.
So male female. We now transition from ourselves, because male female, or any type of relationship, as far as just being together in a relationship. Obviously, I remember one time I mentioned describing to my family, I have a significant other. They looked at me, they're like, no, that's only if you have a wife or you have a fiance. So just a relationship with someone that...
You told your family you had a significant other?
I didn't understand what the term meant.
How old were you?
I was like... 6,
were they all, he's coming out?
No, shit. No.
He's only 12. Oh, it's so early now.
No, I was very uninformed and very
That's
youthful
cute.
in my
That's
answer.
Adorable.
And I learned about the error in my ways in that one.
That's
but
funny.
Based on a relationship, actual relationship, what's your perspective on that?
What do you mean, a female male?
Well, we'll start.
A girlfriend, a wife?
Yeah.
Okay. Dangerous.
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 What do you mean?
Watch it. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Don't screw it up. It's important. Dangerous. Almost like, you kind of look at it like, well, when you give a damn about somebody so much, the last thing you want to do is screw it up. And that's often what happens, you know? So that's why I put the dangerous title on it, because I don't want, if I find somebody I really love, I don't want to screw it up, because there's so many automatic processes I go through, and I start doing things, and I start not paying attention, or they start not paying attention, or whatever it is that we all do to screw things up, even to the point of getting married, which can screw things up. You just want to watch everything, you know? And so dangerous is what I call that, because they're like landmines out there, you know? So, which brings you right to communication, which, you know, then you have to open up and you have to start talking and dealing with each other you have to have somebody that can work like that, though. Okay, if you're shallow, then find the shallow person. You're perfect. Just find a match. But if you're deep and you like to talk about things, find somebody that fits you. If you're just running on the surface, get somebody about the same. It's kind of lame, but I mean, you know, okay. Never thought about that. But,
what do you think about opposites attract?
Oh, that's gone. I'm done with that one.
You're done?
I'm done with that one. That was old news.
Do you think that ever existed?
Dude, it's fun. Yeah, no.
Or just it's different in today's day and age?
That's evolution going, ha, tricked you. New DNA for me. You guys are screwed. Have a couple babies more. That's risky. It's fun because it's very attractive, and you know, Mother Nature has like done the best on us with that, because the two people that are so different have the most to discover about life through each other's eyes because of their differences. So it's exciting. It's fun. Yeah, you're a punker. I'm not. I'm a square. Ha ha ha. Cool. But then the inequality of it all, or the indifferent, or the whatever the word is, the mismatch is will rear its ugly head and become. There will be an irritant in there that's going to get you. You know, it could be. I've had girls too quick for me, and I've had girls too slow for me. I've had girls too. I've had issues. You know, you have issues, and you're like, oh shit, I can't do that again. You know, because it just, after a year, it's fun though in the beginning. That's evolution going. You know, it's got you, because it makes it exciting. It makes it fun. So yeah, that's dust.
So you would say relationships thrive better when one's a little bit more connected in similar interests, or just similar in personalities.
But then let's argue that. Okay, that's boring.
Okay.
If we get married and we like the same thing, boring. You're not going to show me. I like Chevys. You like Chevys. Boring. Now that might be. You know, I don't know if I've found a match like that yet to really test that out. But it could be rad. I mean, there could be. Then you start to have to. Okay, have you had
a relationship?
No, I know you had your significant other.
that was honestly a mistake.
I can't wait till the cameras go off. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Have you had an opposite attract relationship yet?
Well, where I'm attracted to someone completely.
That's like so starkly, you know, polar, or in certain ways. Yet. Not really.
I mean, thinking about that. I mean, there's been like opposite in certain things.
Okay.
But I don't think I've actually been like had a consistent like relationship with someone where it was like, or actually went out, or actually just hung out a lot, and they're completely opposite of me.
Like you've never dated. I don't know you totally, but you're pretty clean cut, but you got a little edge. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I don't know what you mean. I'd have to listen to what music you like. You know, that's a telltale. You know, It's like it gives you a little hint. I don't know music nowadays, so it wouldn't even help me. But
should listen before the show.
Yeah. So you'd have to find somebody that's totally different. And see, but the point was, what was the point?
Oh well, before your point, I think the thing is, I might think they're similar, or it's opposite enough, but maybe it's not as far opposite as I think once I reflect on it.
Yeah. That tricks you too. So your earlier question was to that. We were going somewhere with that.
Similarities, and basically
that doesn't work anymore. Oh yeah, so be the same, and then I poo-pooed that. So there's nothing counts. Both of them suck. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Everything's bad. Relationships are difficult.
Okay.
Well, I think better to try similar than better to try opposite. Let me just put it on that.
And we'll mark that as when the ladies return in just a few minutes. Both Kait and Alexis coming up soon they'll have their takes on that. As lovely Bobby June showing off the JoyScore mug. Show it off one more time.
Well, I don't want to be too crass with it.
No.
You gotta catch it. You gotta catch it. You gotta catch it.
No, I caught it. And,
A little snip. You gotta, pay attention.
Oh, we always pay attention. But the thing I think of now, we're gonna go a little deeper beyond just the opposite attract, the similarities. I feel the two most important things, especially from reading this chapter on relationships, already gone through thoughts, already gone through self-esteem, and I'm going through, I believe trust and communication are the two most important things. Obviously, trust is kind of the foundation. And then communication, you have to communicate that it's going good. What do you believe on the trust and communication side as far as a relationship? And it can be a general relationship just based on workplace, actual relationship.
Yeah, okay, well, we gotta stay in, stay in girls or not.
We'll go.
We can go broad, but we have to go either broad or a segment. I mean, don't we? You choose.
I guess we'll just keep it on the relationships we had at the moment, and we'll just say,
okay, a girl we find,
yes,
and so that would be, I think that trust. You know what? Trust was interesting. I was so stoic. I was married for 14 years. I was stoic. Didn't even look at chicks. I'm cool. I'm married. I'm done. Almost checked out of life, right? And it actually bummed my wife out that I had perfected I had mastered neutrality. I had taken myself and turned myself into a eunuch. I was like a nothing. I was a non-sexual person.
You still are.
That's lovely. Thomas in the corner, our producer, giving some.
He feels all righteous when I'm.
He's ready. now we have all the guys commenting. We got Chris.
We can have a little reckless. We can have a reckless moment.
Oh.
You okay?
Got quite
so I know I turned out of. I checked out of that. By the way, okay, I'm giving you a moment in time, not my
5 years, opposite relationships, opposite people.
Oh, you went that way.
I went that way.
Okay, we'll get with you because we want to know. Okay.
All right.
And he said relationships, like past, very past.
No,
you heard
relationship.
Oh,
ship.
Ship. Okay. All right.
Very, very emphatic on the ship over there.
Okay.
Soup over there.
So I think that the trust thing is really important, but if you go too far, you deaden everything. You need a little bit of jealousy, just the right amount, just a little touch.
Okay.
And it needs to be playful and cute. It can't be hurtful and yucky. So that breaks the trust edict down a little bit, because the trust, those things are very true, but if you say trust and communication, nobody's going to hear you. You got to say something, you got to put a little edge on it, because trust is, I don't know what it is, but if you have a feeling that your current girlfriend has the wherewithal to get somebody else, you keep your junk active. Everything about you that got her stays in full effect. Your mojo, and that's good for both of you. It's a nice thing to be ratcheted up. And so that kind of takes trust and erases the lowercase of the T a little bit, because if you have complete trust, then everybody's done. So I sound like a big blanket thrower on all this stuff, but I'm just trying to give a new perspective on the word that we hear a lot.
It's just a matter of if the blanket's warm or if it's very
It's
cold.
warm. It's warm. It hopes.
Okay.
It hopes.
Okay.
Good point. That was nicely said. That's a
right.
good point. Yeah. So I think and communication, of course. Communication's fun. That's the thing we all do the best. So communication's amazing. You can't if you just don't communicate, you got to look at the whole thing and go, "Damn, I got to get out of this relationship." If you're not communicating, I mean, what's the point? I mean, there's a few points, but there's not many real good ones. You have to communicate. So it's a given. What else you got?
What I do have actually coming up at this very moment, the lovely ladies are ready to come and discuss what we've just talked about.
Okay.
But we love you.
What, you want me to move?
Oh, what?
Huh? What?
Oh, okay.
Am I moving? Am I staying?
Actually,
We have to take a test, dude.
do you want to?
Well, no, we don't have to.
No, take it.
Okay, I guess.
I know. I want to know the score.
Okay, we're gonna take this.
Here.
We'll take the test first.
Here, I got 2 tests for you girls. Too.
Oh, we all taking this? Okay, we
Oh,
got.
of course.
We have Caitlin and Alexis
Hello.
for joining us at the moment.
Hello.
Oh, there's no microphone. What are you doing?
You can hear me.
I don't know.
Oh
Can
my
I?
God, this is so jacked up.
Oh goodness.
We have pencils.
We have Sharpies.
Scratch it in. Scratch
Okay,
it.
we have this. What is this?
Use blood.
The Monte Carlo. Here, I'm gonna toss it. Use your.
Are there any more clipboards?
You can use the lovely stool.
Here, use mine.
Oh,
I got. I said
Thank
I have
you.
something.
So here we go. It's obviously this has obviously been a much different episode from the other ones. We've kind of been a little strict and little. All right, let's be straight up. No, today we're having fun. Like
Oh,
before
yes,
the show,
thanks.
we were getting ready to go.
Ariana Grande, Shakira.
Oh, okay.
Who? What?
I mean,
You
Bobby
missed-
Bobby doesn't even know today's songs. That's what he said. If
Oh,
you were
yeah,
paying
what
Are
is
you
that?
serious?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yes.
you
We were
had to-
jamming
You've
before.
heard
You were?
Shakira before, right?
Yeah, I saw her.
It's
You know,
so
I
live.
ended up liking her after a while because I heard her talk. And because I don't like blondes usually, but that one, like after a while,
That
I was
one?
like,
That one.
yeah, that one was good. Like, but because she started talking, I was like, oh man, she's kind of a crack up. Oh,
Can we pause?
but like in the beginning,
hurt.
but in the beginning, you're barely blonde, sweetheart. You're barely blonde. Come on, look at that. There you
I'm
go.
blue.
Look at yeah, you
blonde at heart.
yeah, you're good. You can be
I'm not.
anything.
I have
you're,
black
you're an
hair
on-demand
naturally,
hair. You're fine, but yeah.
Okay, as we have the fire going right now, let's get into this. We have this quiz, technically a pre-quiz.
Yeah,
but
take
we're
the quiz. Take the quiz and
Okay.
relax.
So there's
Come on
10
now.
different statements.
Okay, now hold on.
I'm gonna beat everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, good.
I'm
good.
just kidding.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to check you as you answer because you have to tell us what you answer. This is not a
Oh,
private
really?
moment, okay? This is not you writing a 6 down and just us accepting it.
There's no
okay?
sixes, my friend. It's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
Whatever it is, it's all the same. Okay, so
It's not all the same, but sure.
it is
Let's see.
a scale. Okay, so what? Now guide us because we want to know everybody's number here.
Define family,
Wow,
though.
this
Okay.
is like.
Are we talking
This is
close
This is not a
family?
privacy. If you don't want to, if you can't
Are we
divulge,
talking-
give me the test back.
For the number, can I speak? For number one.
We were talking.
Communication.
No, for number
Say
one,
excuse me,
I have
please.
a genuine question. For number one, what do you
Yes.
mean by family? Like close family
We'll just
or
say
extended
Adopted
family?
we'll just say family.
Yeah,
Just family. Broad.
it can be everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because I have
okay.
a huge
Because if
family in
it's-
my own right. So
So we're including
Okay.
like adopted family, those
or
moms
some
that are
famous
like your adopted
family.
moms.
In the corner.
Please stop.
All right. So first statement here, as we get a little loosey goosey here. You have strong relationships with your family. We have the 3 goofballs in the corner over there, and well, kind of that side. The real.
Please give me a goofball title, okay? And you're the first one to answer, okay?
You're
Mr.
the one
Man,
who's
he
anti-blonde.
he got, huh?
You're anti-blonde.
I'm not. I didn't say. I'm not. I don't. Blondes are okay. Okay, they're okay. I mean,
Okay.
what am I supposed to do? I don't think come out of me naturally. I like them. I've dated a blonde. My first girlfriend, Ginger Hartman, blonde. Blonde is
Why would you say her name?
platinum because she'd like to hear it.
Shout out to Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger. What's
Wait,
up,
her
Ginger?
name is Ginger, and she was blonde.
Yeah, and towhead, by the way. Full towhead. Full towhead.
Oh God.
Come on.
Okay.
Blonde as hell.
All right. Have we locked in our answers?
No.
No, because you're the first one to tell us what your answer is.
Well, I have to be ready. I'm almost ready.
Okay, my
well-
answer for number 1 is 7 because I know that I can still work on some of the relationships with some of my family members.
Okay. And Bobby June, what about you in the corner? Lot to think about.
oh God, I hate choosing that neutral junk
Okay.
because it fits. I don't want to disagree, but I'll say disagree.
Okay. Disagree.
Because my family relationship is bad. I mean, they're good. We laugh when I get together, but I'm not like looking for them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like, and I have girlfriends kind of, but I'm not looking for anything permanent there either. So everything's falling apart. Go ahead, you're next.
What about Alexis? You had something there?
I'm honest.
For number one,
Yes.
I said agree.
Okay. Agree.
It was gonna be strongly agree if it was like close family, but since we said all family, I said agree.
Well, I guess. Almost strong.
It kind
almost
of
in between.
depends on per person. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this quiz is for you. It's not supposed to be complicated. This quiz is whatever
Yeah.
you feel is applicable for you.
And you could generalize it back into yourself with a cloud of your life, people that you love. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what I kind of did. I threw in some exes that don't like me, some exes that do like me, and some family members that want to see me more, and I should go visit my mom. I'm doing kind of lame.
Okay, so agree. I think I'd agree.
So agree, and Bobby, go visit your mom.
Yeah.
So
Sunday, I just said she came over here.
okay. For me, I put agree. So
Agree.
that's 7 out of
Why?
9.
Why?
For me, I feel like I'm pretty close with my family.
Yeah.
But my lengthy last name, Anderson Yoxheimer. That means there's a whole big sea of family.
Okay.
Of all spectrums.
Oh, so you have like your complexity makes you be involved.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
So it's a big complex things, good, bad,
that's
but
fun.
mostly good. I would say they're the rock. Trust and communication. It's pretty good.
Okay.
But I mean, let's be real. It's a huge family. Can I get?
There's going to be some drama.
There's going to be some drama.
Sure.
But I mean,
but
it's
still,
all
it's some good drama. Okay.
Yes, it's all good.
That's great.
Now we got number 2. I'm gonna kind of read 2 through 5, so we can just do them all in a row. You guys answer them, and I'm gonna read them out.
Okay.
So 2 is you have a good relationship with nature and the environment.
Okay.
Number 3, you will commit the effort to build a meaningful relationship. Number 4, we've mentioned this throughout this show and obviously last week, but this is the one where it's right here. You have a good relationship with yourself. Number 5, you consider yourself to be a good friend. And we're going to discuss that one. That's going to be an interesting. I know Bobby and I were getting a little bit on that a few minutes ago during our topic. But 2 through 5, relationship with nature and in the environment, meaningful relationship, willing to commit, relationship with yourself, and are you personally a good friend? That's an interesting one. So I'm gonna start with you, Bobby, in the corner. If you're ready, sir.
I'm ready. Okay, number 2. Nature and I, nah, we're okay. You know, I love nature, but I'm not thinking about nature. So I'll put it a disagree, just because I could probably give a little more thought to it. I'm 5. Screw 3. Because I do care. I care long term. Care long term, big time.
Long-term.
Love long term. Long term. I could go 9 if I wanted to with nature. I'm all about nature. 9, no, 5. Okay, so
Are you okay?
yeah, I'm fine. And
Wait,
so
show off the mug again. No, just kidding. we're good. So Bobby is a 5. Is that official? 5.
yeah,
Final,
5.
Final answer 5.
Very difficult.
Okay. What about you, Alexis? We'll mix it up.
I said a 5
Okay.
as well.
Just neutral. Just about the environment and nature.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways that I try to conserve, but I know it's very hard to do so when you're a young person and can't really. The main thing, I think, actually, I'm gonna change that.
Oh,
to
goodness.
That's right.
I'm
That's
sorry,
right, baby.
I
That's
do.
right. See?
Okay, so
You guys are
because
That's a
What'd you
no,
do? What'd you change it to?
agree.
agree because one of the reasons why I did cut out meat out of my diet is methane gas that's released. I know that one person isn't really making a difference, but I just don't. When you eat meat or meat is produced, methane gas is put into the environment, and that's one of our main pollutants in this world.
Farts are the main pollutant.
I didn't know that.
Farting?
Did I say fart?
Yes.
Oh, oops.
Yes.
I don't think
I don't think I said
that.
fart.
You didn't
What is
say
it? What is it?
I said methane gas.
And what's it produced
from? Cows.
What do they do?
When they're killed, methane gas is produced.
Only
and
from the stomach opening or something? For the bowel movement opening? Or is it just farting in general throughout their lifetime?
PG, please. PG.
Oh, that's normal. People can talk about farting. It's not that big of a deal. Please.
Okay, move on.
That's not a
Move
difficult
on.
word.
All right. What about you, Kate?
Go ahead.
I went with strongly agree,
Oh.
actually.
Oh yes, Miss Arbor Day over there.
Oh yeah.
You strongly agree? I'm going to watch you. I'm going to look at your Coke cans. I'm going to look at everything you look at. I'm going to watch you walk around the whole world
Well, no,
with your plastic
let me tell
consumption.
You why. So,
what are you wearing?
Okay.
like I said, I'm from Seattle.
Oh,
yes,
here we go.
are green thumb people. But
Okay.
okay, so let me talk about something. One of my greatest inspirations in my life is actually my foster mom, Natalie. And she's from France. And she, through her own way, she really taught me how my foster family, they love hiking, anything outdoors. But, just the little things like tending to her garden. It really showed me the beauty of nature. So I've always been inspired, and I've always really appreciated finding the joy in just the little things. So that's why I would say that I strongly agree with having a relationship with nature, just because I really truly feel the beauty and the joy of it.
Good answer. I totally agree. I would change my
Thank
right
you.
now, but I would be very...
And then
Annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right. For me, I'm gonna go 3 and 4. Get things jumping on to the next one.
Okay, go.
For 3, actually make that 2 because it's nature environment. 2 and 3. My apologies. I just put 5, which is neutral, unsure. I mean, The nature in the environment isn't like something I always think about when I'm walking outside. But I mean, I'm not trying to sit in my car and throw something out my window. That's not me. But I mean, is it always on the forefront? I'm Mr. Arbor Day. No, but I'm not going to disagree. I'm not saying it's not important, but just if I thought of it, it's just, it's not the first thing that comes to my mind. So I can't agree with it or disagree. So I figured an unsure, neutral kind of perspective.
Okay, let's rifle through this then. Should we rifle through it? We got 10 minutes, really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's rifle.
You know what I was going to do?
What are you going to do?
I was going to say go through the first 5, and then you have to wait till the other stuff comes out to get through the next 10.
What do you mean other stuff?
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, but you mean this till the segment is over?
Oh, I was going to say when the book comes out, and then you can read it.
We're not going to... Okay, whatever, all right. I don't know the result.
I was going to say we tell our official scores.
Oh,
At the end.
We have to add.
Yeah,
We have to add.
Oh, should we take the
her,
test then right now?
Yeah, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to do my 3 right
Okay,
now while you
you
guys
do
finish
your
the rest of
3.
the test.
Okay.
So for number 3, willing to commit the effort to build a meaningful relationship. I put strongly agree personally.
That's awesome, Zach.
I'm actually willing to. I'm not trying to say, I'm all cool and all that stuff. But I mean,
No, that's really good that you feel like you have the self-confidence to.
I mean, self-confidence is one thing, but I mean, I just feel like I can put myself out there to try as hard as I can.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
what I figured.
Yeah, that's really good.
To describe. So did you put something there, Caitlin?
I put a 7. The reason why I put a 7 is I know that I'm confident within myself, but also like what we talked about earlier is that I feel like a lot of people nowadays feel like they're burned by people around them. So I feel like I've been burned, but I am still willing to put myself out there to commit to relationships.
Miss Geyser?
I put a 7 as well.
Okay.
Because I'm willing to commit to relationships, whatever type of relationship it is. But if that relationship is draining in any way, I'm willing to give that relationship up. So I'm not going to put so much effort into it where it's going to drain me, but I'm going to put in the same amount of effort as the other person is putting in.
And you, Bobby Jr.
What did you ask?
I was going to ask you what your mark was for number 3 before we decide to do our whole totals of all 10.
I'm ready to tell. Oh yeah, you will commit to. Oh yeah, that's a 9 for me. I'm all about that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got 9s. I got 9s.
But
I got 9.
Are you going after a similar one, an opposite one? Who are you going
From
after?
they said?
No, but I was going to say, we were discussing our topic when it was just us two. Who are you committing to? Are you committing to a similar person? And
when I commit,
it's full on.
No, it's not going to be. I'm not going to smother you. I'm
Yes.
just going to. I'm going
You're
to.
committed.
I'm working. I'm committed. I'm definitely a conscientious and considerate person.
So that's the first 3 right there for you guys, and we have about 7 minutes left. But we're going to each add up our scores. There's a total of 10, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder.
Can you give us the methodology and the mathematics of it all?
Just a reminder that there's 5 different answers from strongly disagree, unsure, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. They're scored 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. That can make a big difference in your score based on what you answer. So you add up all of them together. So in the category with the 9, you add up all the 9s, the 7s, the 5s, 3s, and 1s. And at the end, you're going to have a total of 90. That's the highest possible you could get for this specific one. Then you just kind of evaluate what your score is out of relationships. And there's each quiz in every single chapter. 10 chapters, you add them together, you get a total of 900.
I think you added wrong.
I did.
So have our math majors over there figured it out yet? 'Cause
Math major?
I'm just hoping. I'm hoping we can.
I took a math
an
final yesterday. I get a break. My
I'm
brain's
an
busted.
anthropology major.
Okay. Miss
Nah.
Anthropology, did you add
A
your
math.
scores up?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I can add. Let's hear what your score is out of 90. If you got 100, I'm going to look at you low funky.
I got a 70.
Okay.
So that's like 77%?
It's 7 out of 9.
That's a C.
Yeah.
That's a C.
Okay,
But
I can improve.
That's a
I can
C.
improve.
That's the whole point.
That's very average.
To improve.
Okay.
And Miss Calculator over
What's
there,
wrong
Caitlin.
with being average?
Because I'm below average and I'm right below you. Go ahead, sorry, Ben.
We'll let Caitlin go first.
I got a 75.
Ooh. Whatever.
I can see your number from over here.
This is called honesty, okay? This is honesty.
I was honest too.
Okay, that's all I'm
I
saying.
gave
Go ahead.
myself-
Zach, go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead, Zach.
I'm still adding. I need you.
Oh, my bad. 68. Okay, whatever. Move on. 68. 68. 68.
Professor B
68.
is laughing. Just for the
You
viewers
got a
who
68.
can't see
Yeah,
or
you
know
know-
what's going
yeah,
on.
that's
Professor
right.
B is laughing off.
You're below average, okay?
That's not below average.
Well,
If the
so you
app-
got 68?
Yes.
Okay, I got a 70.
I have the highest with relationships. Yes.
I mean,
Thank you, Mother Nature. You got me on this one. That's like my main number 9.
so just a reminder, these are before and after each chapter.
Right.
And post quizzes.
We have time to improve.
So just a reminder, this is what you take before the chapter, and then you look at it and you read the chapter. You can watch their podcast over and kind of see what we've thought, discuss in the first segment with the ladies with us as the co-host, and Bobby, June, and I kind of bantering back and forth, and now our little banter back and forth of what we think of these statements in this chapter. And you kind of try to improve it. What makes you have a strong relationship or lack thereof within your family? What kind of hampers your workplace relationship? Those are things you need to think about. And we discussed a little bit of that earlier. The book's coming out soon, the apps, the games, everything's pretty good. In addition to social media content coming up soon. I know we've discussed send in your DMs of pets. Caitlin will love any DM involving your pet. That's for sure. JoyScore or
Me too.
Oh, and Alexis. So if you find
I
them,
love
send them something
animals.
about your pet appropriate, please. And they'll just love your dog or your cat or any sort of pet that you love and
Or your
hold dear to your heart.
tarantula.
Hashtag
Whatever.
JoyScore Pet of the Week every Friday, starting this Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah.
With Captain, right?
Yeah, Captain. We
Captain.
have our very own animator soon, and his wife, their dog, Captain, is going to be our first animal pet of the week.
Captain has more followers on Instagram
He's a
than
cutie.
me.
Like, I'm very excited for you guys.
What kind?
He's a mix. Let me see if
yeah,
I can
he-
find
I
him.
just know he's Captain my cat.
It's a dog? You said it's a dog?
He's a dog.
Oh, okay.
But
Like a medium?
They
gonna
dress him
find
up,
him. Uh-huh.
and he's literally the cutest thing.
Oh,
So
really?
Friday, you guys are gonna have to check him out.
They put him in one of those things. I love dogs when they walk with
Like
the
shirts
with
or
a shirt and the
whatever.
thing, and the
Yeah.
arms are like they're all the pugs
No,
especially.
the paw
I need to get one
covers.
for my cat.
They jump
Oh my
when they have
gosh.
the paw covers on. My
Oh really?
my dog.
But you know what I'm talking about? The full blown outfit, and it looks like a
Yeah.
guy walking towards
Yeah,
you. I mean,
look
those are
at
the
me.
that's the shit. I mean, I put all my and if I had an animal, all of them would be in that thing. Walking around, I'd be dude. That would be comedy all day long. Your dog all, what's up? I mean, those things are funny. Go ahead. Sorry.
So just a reminder to send in your pet submissions, and we're going to start posting those, every Friday?
Every Friday.
Do you know
Yeah.
is there a front runner for week number 2, or we just
Actually, we heard
you have a kitten?
through the grapevine that I did get a picture DM'd to me today.
Oh,
Yeah, so you'll have to. It's not one of our team members, so we're really excited about this.
so just a reminder, where do we DM these or send these in? What's our social media handles?
JoyScore Inc. Just go ahead, find us Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're even on LinkedIn,
LinkedIn.
Oh,
YouTube.
LinkedIn, 'cause we're
right?
cool.
Yeah, so go ahead, find us, DM, please. You'll be featured in all of the social medias. And actually, tomorrow we have our second portfolio feature. It'll be one of our team members, Juan. You talked to Juan the other day in a different podcast. He's one of our digital marketing team members. So
Straight
Yeah.
stud.
yeah, we're pretty excited.
When
We
we-
have portfolios coming up, and JoyScore Pet of the Week is coming up.
When are we gonna have one of you guys on there? We gotta get the females on there. I mean, we got you on the podcast finally. We got rid of those
When I
other
change
guys.
my hair color.
What would it
I
be?
like
Would it
it
be
now.
blondes?
When you just changed it though.
See
how you talk
saying?
when I
I'm
change your
changing
hair.
it per season.
Maybe you
so
change
it's
it
gonna,
all the time.
It's gonna be rose gold, and
What's it
it's
gonna be?
be
Rose
shorter.
Rose gold.
Isn't that now
Leave the
summer?
blue on for a while. Come on.
No, it's gonna be like
Hey, at least he
2
likes your
months.
blue hair. He doesn't like
Yeah.
my blonde
Yeah,
hair.
I don't see you. I don't know who you are.
Oh wow! See right through.
I don't recognize you. I like, this is the only kind of blonde I like, really. The smart kind.
The smart.
I was valedictorian. Thank you, Bobby,
Oh,
for
really?
recognizing this.
Okay.
Really?
Let's go.
Oh
Yes,
my
I
god.
was.
Still
So
needs,
what?
Still
Who
needs a
cares?
calculator to add the score.
Are you kidding me? That's hard math. Counting up like
Come on,
single-digit numbers.
Miss
That's
Valedictorian
rough.
over there.
No, yeah, my
no.
business calculus wasn't hard, but that was.
But it was kind of stressful adding up all those little numbers and just kind of getting things ready as far as discussing relationships. But that kind of leads into what's coming up next week. Stress.
Oh, God, I'm out of here.
Oof, I don't know about you guys, but I can get quite
Dude,
stressed.
I'm
I know you,
feeling it.
Caitlin, particularly, were a bit stressed coming in. But you've had quite fun. I don't know why you were stressed coming in.
I
We knew
know.
you'd be perfectly fine. And Alexis, you're just amazing as
Thank
always.
you, Zach. You're
especially
just, you're
with,
too
I
kind.
know.
especially
I'm
with
just
Chris
kidding.
not there.
Yeah.
With Chris not making fun of your name and pronouncing
I mean,
it.
he loves your name. He just doesn't know how to say it. Kaiser, he doesn't even know. It's Geyser.
I just feel like he sits there
Wait,
and makes fun of
wait,
me all
hold
the
on.
time.
What's Chris's last name?
Slyvester? I think?
Slyvester?
Slyvester.
Slimester?
Who knows?
Semester?
All right.
Yeah.
Semester?
And now we're,
Oh,
we're
that's
blurring
scary.
we're blurring the lines between our workplace relationships. All in good fun, though.
All in fun.
So as for Bobby June, Caitlin Thorley, Alexis Geyser, Dr. B, Chris Campbell, and Sir Thomas in the corner, and all the rest of our social media. Thomas Drake. And for Jake and for Juan, everybody associated
And
with
Except Chris and Jay.
Yeah.
well, I guess for you guys, except for them. Maybe they'll be back next week. We'll see. I'm Zach Anderson Yoxheimer saying good night. See you next week talking about stress. Just tune in, replay this, watch it over and over again. Relationships. They're great. Thanks for tuning in.